Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another great episode of On Air with Pierre. Today, we talk with Lisa Holbrook, our Director of Special Events, and she also wears lots of other hats. And we also welcome Mr. Rick Clapp of Bay Area Houston Magazine and our featured nonprofit, Nonie Fairchild, with the Birthday Joy Program. All of this and more on today's episode of On Air with Pierre. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us for a great program today. Before we start with our guest, we also have, this would be counted as a special guest, Miss Lisa Holbrook. Welcome to the show today, Lisa.
Thank you.
So, Lisa, you are not just our Director of Special Events for Top Star, but you also wear lots of different hats. And so what we're going to do is, we won't be able to get through it all today, but at least we can start the conversation so that our viewers know a little bit about the work that you do with Top Star, and then also some of the other hats that you get to wear in the nonprofit world as well. So tell us a little bit about what you do with Top Star.
Well, as Director of Special Events, I wear many hats here as well.
Yes, you do.
I focus a lot on the events that Top Star Events and Entertainment produces, which is the Leader Cast event that takes place in May.
Yes.
And then we also have our own special Bay Area Houston Women's Conference that is in October. And we offer a FlexCast opportunity for another leadership development type of offering, and that is called Live to Lead. So I help manage those processes, including ticket sales, sponsorships. Started many, many years ago when, as a PTA volunteer, I chaired the Fall Festival for Armand Bayou Elementary PTA. And that's how it all started.
How long ago was that?
Do I have to tell?
No, you don't have to tell.
It was 1999.
Okay.
And that was a big endeavor. And then almost simultaneously, the church that I have attended since living here in the area, University Baptist Church, the Minister of Administration asked me if I would consider becoming one of their 4 wedding coordinators, because at the time, weddings were traditionally held in a church sanctuary. Ours was very appealing because it had a center aisle.
Wow.
So I started there too, and those capitulated, if you will, into other things, which now involves the events here at Top Star.
Nice. And so you got to participate in the LeaderCast event many years ago when we did a conversation with Dr. Smith. A couple of years later, then somehow I was able to get you to agree to come and work in our events division. So the Bay Area Houston Women's Conference this past year, I believe, was such a huge success. And, you know, a big part of that is because you took all these years of event planning experience to help craft an experience that was memorable. And so we certainly do appreciate that, and looking forward to 2019.
Yes.
Because we got some great things in the pipeline, right?
We do.
So we're currently working on LeaderCast, which we are planning on launching an additional site this year. And so probably by next week or in the next week or two, we'll be announcing both of our locations where we're going to be. And so hopefully we can get you to come back to tell us where we're going to be going for LeaderCast.
Happy to do so.
Lisa, one of the questions that I have for you is, what is it about events that you think is fun? And what is it about events that you think is challenging or sometimes a little bit frustrating?
Well, I'll start with the fun part first.
Okay.
In fact, in the studio waiting area, we were talking about our personalities. And the 2 women in there that I was speaking with shared that they feel a lot more comfortable at home and they really enjoy their alone time. And I looked at them sort of incredulously and said, that's not me. So what I love about events is the people. There are certain aspects to any event, but at the same time, each one of them are unique, and you have to learn what the needs are of the attendees and the participants, and that can be a wedding, that can be a gala, that can be a LeaderCast event. And
Sure.
what is exciting for me, but can also be challenging because it's not completely in your control, is how satisfied are they at the end? Was it an experience? Is
Sure.
it something that they're going to walk out of and talk about? And use those phrases. Did you remember when ... And it had to do with that particular event that person was experiencing.
I love that you just said that, because one of the things that happens when years go by, you've gone to an event that you talk about, right? And you say, oh my gosh, 10 years ago or 15 years ago. And I can, personally share that. For me, like watching John Maxwell speak live and in person was one of those moments for me, because I've had tons of conversations where I bring up, I went to go, hear John Maxwell speak, and he said this and he said that, and I think you're right. When you create or you craft an experience that's memorable, that impact lasts for years.
It does.
And it can last a lifetime.
It does. Right? And then on the challenging piece of it, one of the things that I'm reminded of many years ago when I was relatively new to IBM in the sales area, we went to this, it was really cool. We went to Theater Under the Stars, where it was outdoors. It was really theater under the stars. And we had a keynote speaker, and he talked about things, and one of the comments, and it's one of these memorable experiences for me, he said, your worst embarrassments, so I think about this when something happens and you're horrified, and this can be with events as well, your worst embarrassments turn into your greatest war stories.
Sure.
And so that's something that I always keep in mind, that even if it feels as if you're a little discombobulated, you just have to remember that you've got to keep some humor,
right.
And you've got to realize that things can happen that are out of your control, and the best that you can do is just try to rectify it as best as you can in that moment, and
Sure.
learn from it, and hopefully it won't happen again.
Right. Well, and there's that saying, the day that you forget the umbrella is the day that it rains.
Right.
There's a law or something more. I'm not exactly sure what, but I remember. Murphy's Law.
Yeah.
If it can go wrong, it will go wrong. And I think that speaks to the power of us making that commitment to be prepared, and to have that conversation about, hey, what's our backup plan?
Right.
And so that's definitely one of the things that I think we've really capitalized on, and ever since we brought you on. And so we're excited to have a strong lineup of 2019 events at Top Star. Now, before we go to commercial break, you also wear lots of other hats.
I do.
You are involved. You were involved at the topmost leadership level for Texas PTA as the president of the organization. But you still remained involved with that organization.
Correct.
Tell us a little bit about that.
So my term ended in July of 2016, and one of the beautiful things about our governance structure is that past presidents can remain on in a role called field service representative.
Okay.
And that is one of my favorite things to do, because once again, people are involved.
Right.
And you're either teaching or mentoring or encouraging or inspiring. And so that is the role that I serve right now. And I have, between councils, we saw Laura Varley last week as the Clear Creek Community Council. Besides councils and local independent PTAs, I provide service to, I think, around 110 PTAs in this general area, and then in the Beaumont, Port Neches, Groves, Port Arthur area. So that's a lot of fun for me.
Well, shout out to those folks that are tuning in from those councils. And we know that last week I had the opportunity to speak at the Founders Day celebration for CCI's Clear Creek Community Council of PTAs. It was a great event, and of course we know that the PTAs are doing a lot of hard work with the volunteers. And one of the things I spoke about in my speech was that the best place to see the real leaders are volunteer organizations, right? Because that's where you have people that are following you, not because they have to, because of your title, because you're the manager, because you're the boss, because you're the CEO, but because they want to follow you. And so we know that volunteer-driven organizations are the places where real leaders are made. And so it's great to hear that you remain involved in that. And so and then another hat that you wear is with the Assistants League, right?
That is correct.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I am president-elect for the second time, which means I'll be moving into the presidency for our next fiscal year. And initially it wasn't my plan to return to this role. In fact, my plan was, I was the marketing chairman, and my plan was to just sort of quietly move on and do some small jobs. But the nominating committee called me, and I did give it some thought. But after I said yes, I'm really glad I did. I'm looking forward to entering into a job that I know something about. Because even with, and this is true of any organization where there is a president-elect president model,
right.
I've always said, as a female, I've always likened it to the president-elect is like being an aunt to a niece, where the president is being a mother to a daughter. So you're fairly prepared, but
Sure.
You're not completely prepared until you step into that actual role. So I'm delighted to be able to return to that role and actually understand what all the nuances are. So yes, I love both organizations.
Very good. Well, Lisa, thank you so much for spending some time talking with us. I know that we're going to have the opportunity to talk with you again and sometime in the future, and keep up the good work. Thank you so much for spending some time with us. We're going to go to a short commercial break, and whenever we come back, we are talking with Rick Clapp of Bay Area Houston Magazine. All of this and more on today's episode of On Air with Pierre. Being in the event and marketing space, looking your best is key. That's why I'm glad to be using the personal styling services of Macy's at Baybrook Mall. The services of Macy's My Stylist are complete and can offer you a personal shopper to guide you through it all. You're going to be getting the latest trends in fashion from the top brands. You'll go through a custom fitting that will allow your stylist to pull a line of options for your review. And the best part is, it's a complimentary service provided by Macy's. That's right, no charge for the service. And if fashionable trends isn't what you're looking for, you can always visit their beauty department for the latest in makeup and fragrances. So don't wait any longer and let a Macy's stylist take your look to the next level. You'll be glad you did. To schedule your appointment, call Michael Haddock at 409-370-3294 or book online at macys.com/mystylist.
Every meeting and group event deserves to be at South Shore Harbor Resort. From extravagant to intimate, trust us to make your next business event a success. Perfectly located just 30 miles south of Houston, South Shore Harbor Resort is the largest full-service waterside resort in Southeast Texas. Mixing business with pleasure has its benefits. Our executive chef has created a delicious menu full of the best local ingredients. With upscale, casual, and poolside dining options, there is something for every appetite. Business has never been easier with such amazing choice of meeting spaces that provide a relaxed waterfront setting. Our state-of-the-art amphitheater is perfect for delivering a winning presentation. Swim, float, or paddle up to the poolside bar and enjoy the sun in our amazing 185-foot tropical oasis pool. Or take your time and lounge around in one of the beautiful private cabanas. You're going to sleep well in our luxurious, spacious, and airy rooms, furnished with plush bedding and a maritime theme. Business does not have to be all business while conferencing at South Shore Harbor Resort and Conference Center. Memories made here.
And ladies and gentlemen, we are back to On Air with Pierre, and it is my pleasure to welcome Mr. Rick Clapp. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome our guest for today. How are you today, Rick?
I'm doing great. Blessed and highly favored. Pierre, how are you?
Very good. I'm doing great. And you brought a friend today.
Yeah, friend, colleague. This is Summer Loggins. Summer's one of our feature writers, and she's also a recent graduate of Rutgers University.
Wow.
Ivy League school, yeah. Excellent writer, has great potential. She's been interviewing a lot of interesting people, not only here in Clear Lake, but even in New York, the United Nations, and she's been doing a great job for us, and she's also a model and actress.
Wow.
As a matter of fact, she acted in our last movie, right? The Bay House.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Okay. Well, welcome, Summer. Thank you for joining us today. And Rick, I want to start off our conversation by talking about you and a little bit about your history and how you got started in with Barry Houston Magazine.
Well, first, I have to say that I'm a lot more comfortable here than Michael Cohen is this morning. So, this is kind of a nice pleasure to come and see you and talk about our magazine and some of the things we've done. Well, succinctly, I can just say that, I'm a servant to God and to this community. And I think that one of the things that I go by is getting information, good news, out to the people in the community. And I think in working with you, we're on the same page, the same agenda. Bob Mitchell and Cindy Harold and those that be before them have done such a great job in creating the diversification of our community.
Absolutely.
So with the magazine, my goal was to promote what the image and identity of the Bay Area is. And we've had great support. I've been doing it for 27 years. I've got advertisers, praise the Lord.
27 years.
27 years. I have advertisers that are been with me for most of that time. So,
Sure.
That's kind of a...
advertisers that support the magazine
yeah,
long term.
Yeah, long term.
And
without those advertisers, just like you can't bring out the news. And what's happening in your business, my business, is that the big multinational companies, the media is getting the word out, where the small publications or podcasts or the voice of the citizens isn't really being heard.
Sure.
So it's imperative that companies support businesses like us that are small, that need help and support. And without that, you're not going to get the real news of the local communities and what the interest is.
Rick, what have you seen in media? So when we think about media, I heard a statistic the other day that back even in the early 2000s, American Idol would be able to reach 27 points or 27% of the target demographic, and that fast forward to today, that's down to 7-8%. And so when we think about your times of watching, and I'm not aging you here for just a second, but when we talk about television, and the way that you might have grown up watching television, I mean, the family gathered around to watch TV, right? And it was a platform and a medium that really reached so many people. And when you look at today's media, that's been so split up, right?
Yes.
What do you think about that?
Well, one is I think I've stayed true to the message of the old style, and that is informing the community, informing people. People really want information. Today's media is about, on TV especially, is Disney World. It's all about entertainment. The news, the serial shows, just about everything is about entertainment. It's not leading and informing our country and giving people pertinent information. If you go back to the days of me with Walter Cronkite, Huntley and Brinkley in the 60s and 70s, they just read the news. They didn't glorify the news, and they didn't add their editorial opinion to it.
Sure.
They expressed the news as it happened at that time. Now, there's so much sensationalism, and whether it's fake news, no news, good news, people have such a short
attention span. Yes.
And that is the thing about the podcast, we're here to bury Caesar, not to praise him. So the meaning that we want to get the facts out now and not make an hour show out of it and make it entertaining. Let's tell the people what.
Well, it is an hour show.
Okay.
But our segment,
I mean, meaning with you and I mean, I'm
Absolutely.
not going to talk on and on. But the whole point is to get the information out to the people.
Absolutely.
And that's what people want.
And what one of the things I love about just about what you just said, but it's reflected in the magazine is that it's good, positive community news that is on here, that's not sensationalized like you were saying, but that also informs the community about what's going on. And that's an important piece of, I believe, why this publication continues to do as well as it does. And I did not know 27 years is a long time.
Yeah, a long time. Matter of fact, this publication is this right now it's his 20th year, so Bay Area, Houston.
And you also have a sister publication.
Yeah, the Gulf Coast Mariner.
Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, first I want to tell you what makes the publication in your business successful is the integrity. It all boils down to, can people trust? Are you sincere in your message?
Sure.
And what are you telling the people? And to have the consistency that we've had, it's all about integrity. Do what you say what you do, and do what you say and do.
Right.
And I think that's representative of the Clear Lake area and businesses like yours. I think that's, while we're here and to get the word out. Furthermore, one of the things I believe in is that on each one of my magazines, it says, "In God We Trust." Mm-hmm. It says it on our monetary, all our monetary money, and this is what our country was founded on. And it's very important to me that God will never be taken out of my magazine.
Sure.
He's an integral part. So our success is based on faith, and faith that we'll do better and the economy gets better. And I think that's an integral part in what we do.
Sure.
And it represents who we are.
Absolutely. Summer, I want to ask you, Rick mentioned you've been doing some interviews and you've been talking to different folks. What are some of the things that you've seen are important to this community as you've talked with different leaders?
Well, yeah, as what Rick said, we really work to build trust with the community and give pertinent and informative information and things that people need to know about. We don't care about the negative information. We want to build positivity and find solutions to the bigger problems in the world. So I've been working with NASA very closely, which has been really amazing.
Okay.
And the United Nations, and I have a lot of really cool projects coming up. And my goal is to define what it means to be a millennial in this ever-changing society, because there's not a real definite role of millennials, and we're growing in the workforce now, so we need to build a community for that and take lead and take charge.
Sure. Well, there's a lot of information in what you just said.
Well, this is very important. We started this with a magazine in that there's a lot of misinformation about millennials.
Sure.
We have a joke all the time. She says, "Rick, you're a millennial." Well, it's being educated. There's never been a group of people who have more education and more information of what the past was. And rather than criticizing them, maybe we should embrace them and listen to them.
Absolutely.
Because, hey, look, we've trialed, erred, and failed, and succeeded over 2,000 years. So why not listen to people who have all that information and data right at their fingertips through computers, library, and information?
Absolutely.
And maybe not so wrong. So each month, she's writing a column to put out to the community, which would be good to you to include as well. What is it the millennials want? What are their wants and needs? And if you're able to read that and follow that, parents can understand their kids, and employers like me can get a better understanding of these individuals, what their wants and needs are. And if you know what people's wants and needs are, all you got to do is satisfy them.
Right, absolutely.
Right?
To our folks that are just now tuning in, we are here with Rick Clapp and Houston Magazine. We're going to take a short little commercial break, so stay tuned and come back, because when we come back, we're still talking with Rick Clapp, and then we're also going to be welcoming Nonie Fairchild of the Birthday Joy program. All of this and more on today's episode of On Air with Pierre.
Every meeting and group event deserves to be at South Shore Harbor Resort. From extravagant to intimate, trust us to make your next business event a success. Perfectly located just 30 miles south of Houston, South Shore Harbor Resort is the largest full-service waterside resort in Southeast Texas. Mixing business with pleasure has its benefits. Our executive chef has created a delicious menu full of the best local ingredients. With upscale, casual, and poolside dining options, there is something for every appetite. Business has never been easier with such amazing choice of meeting spaces that provide a relaxed waterfront setting. Our state-of-the-art amphitheater is perfect for delivering a winning presentation. Swim, float, or paddle up to the poolside bar and enjoy the sun in our amazing 185-foot tropical oasis pool. Or take your time and lounge around in one of the beautiful private cabanas. You're going to sleep well in our luxurious, spacious, and airy rooms, furnished with plush bedding and a maritime theme. Business does not have to be all business while conferencing at South Shore Harbor Resort and Conference Center. Memories made here.
Being in the event and marketing space, looking your best is key. That's why I'm glad to be using the personal styling services of Macy's at Baybrook Mall. The services of Macy's My Stylist are complete and can offer you a personal shopper to guide you through it all. You're going to be getting the latest trends in fashion from the top brands. You'll go through a custom fitting that will allow your stylist to pull a line of options for your review. And the best part is, it's a complimentary service provided by Macy's. That's right, no charge for the service. And if fashionable trends isn't what you're looking for, you can always visit their beauty department for the latest in makeup and fragrances. So don't wait any longer and let a Macy's stylist take your look to the next level. You'll be glad you did. To schedule your appointment, call Michael Haddock at 409-370-3294 or book online at macys.com/mystylist. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. We are talking with Rick Clapp of Bay Area Houston Magazine. And Rick, I want to thank you for spending some time with us today. You have also, as part of your magazine, put together an awards program that recognizes some of the top brands in the community. And it's called Best of the Bay. And I believe today is the 27th. And
Yes.
that the voting for that, how does that work?
Well, the Best of the Bay Awards is its 20th year, and it recognizes businesses that have achieved excellence. And we don't make those choices. It's up to the public. So we run for 2 months. Companies, individuals can nominate a restaurant, any type of business, hair salon, grocery store. What is your favorite? Or
Sure.
what is the best? And it's turned into something that's like the Academy Awards of the Bay Area.
Yeah.
We have it every year. This year it's going to be at the Water's Edge on what day is that? The 29th
Okay.
of March. And it's to recognize those individuals that have won the award. So
Okay.
there's different categories, like we said, best restaurants, Chinese, Mexican, hairstylists, etc. Even maybe podcast or
There
TV
you go,
show,
or
right?
a show. There you
So,
go.
There you go. So it's like the
So can
Academy
people
Awards
still vote for
Yes.
that? Okay.
up until tomorrow.
Up until tomorrow. And how do they do that?
6 p.m. They can log on the website
Okay.
and baygroupmedia.com and
Okay.
vote for, that's baygroupmedia.com, and vote for their favorite business, restaurant, hairstylist, or
Perfect.
whatever.
And then on our links, we're going to be posting, on our show, we're going to be posting the links as well. So you can go on there and make sure and cast your vote before tomorrow, the 28th. And then, of course, you can attend. Is the
Yeah.
actual ceremony open to the public?
It's open to the public, and Physicians Hospital is sponsoring it.
Okay.
Last year we had over 300 people, and there's food, complimentary food, and a cash bar, and live entertainment.
Wow.
So it's quite a happening. And
that takes place March the 29th, right?
Started out with about 35 people 20 years ago. Now we've got 300, and plus it benefits a local nonprofit.
Absolutely.
There's no charge, but we request a donation for the Galveston Bay Foundation, as they're doing such great work here.
Absolutely. Well, good. Be sure and go on and cast your vote for the Best of the Bay awards that's put together by our friends at Bay Group Media. And well, during commercial break, we were talking with you and Summer about y'all are working on a movie project, or y'all have worked on a movie project that's also coming out out in the pipeline.
Yes, thank you for bringing that. I'm really excited about it. We work with Bo Brinkman. Bo is an actor and also playwright, screenwriter, and filmmaker. And we've done 3 movies together. It's going to be a total of 6. We've got The Bay House, which is coming out. We're having a pre-premiere party at Allen's Swamp Shack.
Okay.
And it's going to have some of the actors and people there that you can meet. And it's going to pre-launch the premiere. The premiere is going to be held at the River Oaks Theater,
Yep.
the famous River Oaks Theater, on March the 14th, right? March 14th. And that's open to the public too. Seating is limited, and we're asking for a $10 donation to help benefit the Galveston Bay Foundation, because it's called the Bay House. The movie was 90% shot here in the Bay Area. Seabrook, San Leon, and Gilhooly's.
Okay.
And the San Leon area, also Galveston on the island. We got great photography. And we also shot in Durango and Silverton, Colorado.
Okay.
So it's a great movie to watch. It's about a politician that's kind of the times has had a failed past, and it's exciting. There's comedy and there's drama. It's something to see. It's called The Bay House.
The Bay House. All right. And Summer, did you get to participate in that project?
Yes, I did, and I got to go to Colorado, which was really cool, up in the mountains in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
very
both had a
nice.
chance to act. It was kind of fun, you know. I play a funeral director and she plays a reporter, which she is. So
Yeah.
it's really good.
Ironic.
It worked out perfect. And then there's some additional projects y'all are working on as well.
Thanks, Pierre. Yeah, we are. Well, I produced a movie early this year. It was shot on Brent Farb's ranch
Okay.
in Mississippi, Louisiana, called Urban Country. And it's a Christian inspirational movie. Had Lou Diamond Phillips in it, and C.W. Howe is a really great movie. And it did well in the AMC theaters, but it also went to Walmart, picked it up in the U.S. and Canada. You can buy it for $7.99. And it's also gone to Xfinity. Xfinity picked it up because they like the aspect of inspirational movie.
Nice.
The next movie we're working on, Summer's working on it right now, is Goat Hill Road. We're going to start filming that starting probably April. And Tom Berenger, great actor, is going to be the lead in that. And I think Busey, what's his name? Do you know the Jake Busey? Yeah, Jake Busey.
Okay.
So he's in it too. So
Go Hill Road is the name of
Goat
that
Hill
one?
Road. Yeah,
Okay.
it's a true story about a Texas murder and the Texas Rangers and about a DA that is the youngest prosecutor in Texas, wins the case, and I get to play a judge, so I'm pretty excited.
Very good, very good. Well, Rick and Summer, I want to thank you all so much for spending some time with us today.
Thank you, Pierre.
Rick, I'm looking forward to a phenomenal partnership in 2019. I think we're going to be doing some great things together, and I'm looking forward to some great things to come as well.
And you wanted to say hi to Morales, right? One of your
Oh
fellow
yes, a
countrymen.
big shout out to Morales, who Rick, the one thing that I'm very clear on now is that you're a smart man because you've made the right choice in seeking a companion that's of Peruvian descent.
Yes, beautiful.
There you go.
Peruvian
there
princess.
you go. So
yeah, Morales, how are you?
So there you go.
Someone
Shout
else
out
that
to Morales. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We just talked with Rick Clapp and with Summer of Barry Houston Magazine. We're going to be placing all of the links if you want to go and vote for the Best of the Bay Awards that takes place March the 29th at Water's Edge. And of course, some more information about their upcoming projects. You can visit baygroupmedia.com. We're going to take another short break, and when we come back, we're going to talk with Nonie Fairchild of the Birthday Joy program. Stay tuned.
Every meeting and group event deserves to be at South Shore Harbor Resort. From extravagant to intimate, trust us to make your next business event a success. Perfectly located just 30 miles south of Houston, South Shore Harbor Resort is the largest full-service waterside resort in Southeast Texas. Mixing business with pleasure has its benefits. Our executive chef has created a delicious menu full of the best local ingredients. With upscale, casual, and poolside dining options, there is something for every appetite. Business has never been easier with such amazing choice of meeting spaces that provide a relaxed waterfront setting. Our state-of-the-art amphitheater is perfect for delivering a winning presentation. Swim, float, or paddle up to the poolside bar and enjoy the sun in our amazing 185-foot tropical oasis pool. Or take your time and lounge around in one of the beautiful private cabanas. You're going to sleep well in our luxurious, spacious, and airy rooms, furnished with plush bedding and a maritime theme. Business does not have to be all business while conferencing at South Shore Harbor Resort and Conference Center. Memories made here.
Being in the event and marketing space, looking your best is key. That's why I'm glad to be using the personal styling services of Macy's at Baybrook Mall. The services of Macy's My Stylist are complete and can offer you a personal shopper to guide you through it all. You're going to be getting the latest trends in fashion from the top brands. You'll go through a custom fitting that will allow your stylist to pull a line of options for your review. And the best part is, it's a complimentary service provided by Macy's. That's right, no charge for the service. And if fashionable trends isn't what you're looking for, you can always visit their beauty department for the latest in makeup and fragrances. So don't wait any longer and let a Macy's stylist take your look to the next level. You'll be glad you did. To schedule your appointment, call Michael Haddock at 409-370-3294 or book online at macys.com/mystylist. are back, ladies and gentlemen, for another great episode of On Air with Pierre. And I am here with Nonie Fairchild. Am I saying that correct, Nonie?
You are.
Okay, perfect. Nonie is with the Birthday Joy program. And Nonie, I want to thank you for spending some time with us today. The first question for me is, tell us a little bit about you and how you arrived at the Birthday Joy program.
Okay, well, I am actually a native of Iowa, and they are freezing right now. They're covered in snow, but I grew up there. Great family. As far as evolving into the Birthday Joy program, you know, growing up, we used to always kind of tease my dad because he always said his birthday was the most important day of the year.
Yeah.
You know, he used to walk in from work and say, you know, it's my birthday. It's the most important day of the year. And Dad is passed now, but as I kind of reflected on those memories, you know, I got to thinking everyone should feel that way.
Sure.
You know, and there are children out there that aren't. I've always wanted to be active in foster care, but raised 5 children with a husband who was overseas.
5 children?
Yes,
wow.
Yes. So we have 5, and my husband is in the oil industry, so he was overseas all the time in Africa. And so that was never an option for us. And now that the kids are grown and out the door, I've been able to kind of reflect on those, you know, those things that my dad taught us about, you know, that is the most important day of the year. That's you. It's
Sure.
about you.
Sure.
So kind of was an opportunity to bring that to those kids, those foster children. When we started the Birthday Joy program, the children in CPS care were our focus. And so we initially started working with those kids in large group foster homes.
How long ago was this?
So we're 3 years old this month.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
All
so
right.
happy birthday to us.
Yeah. 3 years old, so 3 years ago, and the initial sort of the initial target was the CPS, the children that are in the CPS system.
Yes. Yes.
But then that grew.
It did. It's grown. We're able, as we have grown and our donor base has grown, we've been able to reach more kids.
Okay.
And so we're doing that through a couple of additional programs. We're still there every month at these foster group homes doing birthday parties. So those are great. There's about 50 kids at every party. We have a super time. But we also are in the schools. That has been very important to us. We're just starting a new program called Joy Bags. And we are in Blackshear Elementary in the 3rd Ward. And we're also at an elementary in Dickinson ISD. And also in Bay Cliff, which is also Dickinson ISD.
Sure.
So we are providing them with bags that have a new book. And there's a stadium cup in there. It's a happy birthday quote from Dr. Seuss and a couple of little goodie type items. But, you know, we want to be able to reach those kids. They may not be celebrated at home for
Sure.
numerous reasons. At the same time, it's not lost on us that teachers spend so much of their own money, you know, doing for their students. And so this is kind of a double win, we
Okay.
consider, because we're able to take that burden off the teachers, but also make sure that those kids are celebrated, that they do feel special, that they're acknowledged. And then we have a birthday bag that is in area food banks. Families that are accessing the food banks, obviously if you're in need of food, you're most likely unable to do anything on a birthday for your
Sure.
child.
The birthday celebration gets kicked to the bottom of the totem pole.
Right.
Right.
It absolutely does. And, you know, we've had a board member tell us one time, you know, when a birthday comes around and a mom is already struggling,
Sure.
knowing that birthday's coming up is about enough to send them over the edge.
Absolutely.
And so we are in, for example, Galveston County Food Bank.
Okay. Yes.
And the Interfaith Caring Ministries Food Bank in Lake City.
Yes.
So we provide bags there, and they have everything you would need to do a birthday at home. Cake mix, frosting, decorations, a present. And those bags are also at the Bear warehouse, which a lot of people aren't familiar with, but it's a warehouse that all the Harris County social workers have access to.
Nice.
So even if they have children that they're working with that are still intact with their families, they're able to pull bags and take those to their families to celebrate.
So Noni, 3 years, and so I'm assuming you've seen lots of birthday parties,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And it's nice to be able to sort of, to your point earlier about, reminiscing on your birthday experiences growing up, and then to now transpose or transition that into seeing that for other children and other kids that wouldn't have that opportunity otherwise. And how does that make you feel?
It's amazing. It sticks with you. I mean, I'm always telling our volunteers, we'll get a new volunteer who comes to one of the birthday parties, and I'm telling them, you're going to be hooked. You'll be back every month, because doing for someone else is a wonderful feeling. And when you see the impact that you are making, when a 10-year-old little girl tells you, this is the best day of my life,
Sure.
She's been surrounded in crisis. Her world is about court hearings and therapists. She's been, abused, and parents are in jail, and that sort of thing. And when she throws her arms around you at a birthday party and she's like, this is the best day of my life.
Absolutely.
That's all I need. I mean, it doesn't matter all the hours,
Sure.
Outside of office hours, driving all over Harris County, picking up things and donations. It's worth it.
Sure.
I mean, it's an impact on me, just myself, when we're able to do for those kids.
And it's amazing because it sounds like you go through a lot of work, you invest a lot of time, and then reap the rewards with in ways that's
tenfold.
fulfilling tenfold. Yeah. So right now, if folks want to get involved, if they want to, what are your top needs right now?
Okay, so our top needs are, with any nonprofit, monetary donations. I mean, we pride ourselves in having an extremely low overhead. I mean, our office space is donated for us, but it doesn't change the fact that we need monetary donations so that we can continue to fund the program. But we also welcome in-kind donations, things like toys, new toys, party supplies, cake mix and frosting. We go through it like crazy. It's all those things. Anything you can think of that would involve birthday parties, we welcome.
Okay. Well, if you're just now tuning in, we're talking with Nonie Fairchild of the Birthday Joy Program, and we're going to take one small commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to talk some more and also celebrate 2 birthdays that are part of our team, and we've got some cake and we've got some music, and so stay tuned. We'll be right back. Being in the event and marketing space, looking your best is key. That's why I'm glad to be using the personal styling services of Macy's at Baybrook Mall. The services of Macy's My Stylist are complete and can offer you a personal shopper to guide you through it all. You're going to be getting the latest trends in fashion from the top brands. You'll go through a custom fitting that will allow your stylist to pull a line of options for your review. And the best part is, it's a complimentary service provided by Macy's. That's right, no charge for the service. And if fashionable trends isn't what you're looking for, you can always visit their beauty department for the latest in makeup and fragrances. So don't wait any longer and let a Macy's stylist take your look to the next level. You'll be glad you did. To schedule your appointment, call Michael Haddock at 409-370-3294 or book online at macys.com/mystylist.
Every meeting and group event deserves to be at South Shore Harbor Resort. From extravagant to intimate, trust us to make your next business event a success. Perfectly located just 30 miles south of Houston, South Shore Harbor Resort is the largest full-service waterside resort in Southeast Texas. Mixing business with pleasure has its benefits. Our executive chef has created a delicious menu full of the best local ingredients. With upscale, casual, and poolside dining options, there is something for every appetite. Business has never been easier with such amazing choice of meeting spaces that provide a relaxed waterfront setting. Our state-of-the-art amphitheater is perfect for delivering a winning presentation. Swim, float, or paddle up to the poolside bar. and enjoy the sun in our amazing 185-foot tropical oasis pool. Or take your time and lounge around in one of the beautiful private cabanas. You're going to sleep well in our luxurious, spacious, and airy rooms, furnished with plush bedding and a maritime theme. Business does not have to be all business while conferencing at South Shore Harbor Resort and Conference Center. Memories made here.
And ladies and gentlemen, we are back. We've moved to our green room because we are celebrating. Yeah! We are getting ready to Nonie, I want to thank you for joining us today for our program, and because we're celebrating birthdays, yesterday was our graphic designer's birthday, Carmen, and then tomorrow is Gladys, who happens to be my mom, but is also a very special part of the Top Star team. So they are both celebrating, I think, 15 and 15. So it's 30. Yeah, does that work? Half and half? So I want to thank our friends from Nothing Bundt Cakes who brought us some delicious goodies to celebrate. And then we're going to play some music so that we can sing happy birthday, and let's see how this works. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Woo! Felicidades! Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Carmen and Gladys. Happy birthday to you. They to you. All right, yeah! Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. Tune in next week. We're having another great show. We welcome our superintendent of CCISD, Dr. Smith. Thank you so much for joining us today for a great episode of On Air with Pierre. Bye-bye.